Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out Psycho, the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock horror movie, and I think that this movie was one of the first, if not the first, slasher movie. I could be wrong, there could be more slasher movies, but I think this movie was really the movie that started the slasher genre. I think at least, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I think that this was the movie that started the slasher genre. I'm also really excited for this movie because I've heard a lot of good things about it. I do know the twist. I know who the killer is. I know kind of the main kind of story of Psycho. It's just something that is unavoidable when you're researching film, when you're in film class. It's just something that comes up. It's just such a big part of film history that it's almost impossible to not know who the killer is in this movie. So I do know the twist of this movie. I will not spoil it, just in case some of you don't know what the twist is. Go watch the movie because I'm sure it's going to be a good one. But the reason why I'm excited is because I've been on this Alfred Hitchcock train of movies so far. I watched Rear Window and I watched Rope, and now I'm watching Psycho, and both of those two movies were amazing, and I'm expecting nothing less than amazing for this one. I know that this movie has a lot of praise, so I'm super excited to check it out. Again, I do know the twist. I know the shower scene, the famous shower scene, which was very graphic for its time in the 1960s. It was a very graphic scene, and yeah, I'm excited to see the story and how the story plays out, because since I know the twist, now I can kind of look at the story through the perspective of almost watching this film a second time in a way, because I'll be able to go, oh, this is like a little breadcrumb for later on in the movie and stuff. So I'm excited to check this one out. It's black and white. Very excited for that. I have nothing against black and white, and sometimes black and white movies are even more beautiful than color movies. So I'm very excited to check this one out. Before we do that though, let me do the lighting. So let me turn on my light and then we can decide what color it should be. Boop. Okay, so for the lighting today, I'm going to keep this light white, but I'm going to do something a little different. I think I'm going to actually take all the color out of this room, and now we are in Psycho. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay, let's dive on into this film. I hope you enjoy my reaction to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Psycho. Dude, I forgot that the music is pretty legendary and pretty iconic in this film. It's based on a novel. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if this movie, the two movies that I've seen so far, have had barely any score, and it's all been very diegetic sound. I wonder if this movie is going to have a big score, it's going to be loud, or if it's going to be quiet like the other movies.
I've heard of married couples who deliberately spend an occasional night in a cheap hotel.
When you're married, you can do a lot of things deliberately.
You sure?
An affair? Is this an affair?
My sister helping me broil a big steak for 3.
And after the steak, did we send sister to the movies, turn mama's picture to the wall?
Sam,
This has been one shot so far. This is impressive.
they also pay who meet in hotel rooms.
A couple of years and my debts will be paid off. If she ever remarries, they'll know.
Windows would never open that far anymore in a hotel.
I'll lick the stamps.
I thought it was an affair because he keeps traveling on business trips to see her, but I don't think it is.
Oh, your sister called to say she's going to Tucson to do some buying, and she'll be gone the whole weekend. And
That guy looks important. He has a big hat.
18 years old. And she never had an unhappy day in any one of those years.
I bet she has had at least one unhappy day.
I'm buying this house for my baby's wedding present. $40,000 cash.
Wow, impressive.
Count 'em.
I declare.
I don't. That's how I get to keep it.
Tom, man.
This guy.
Transaction.
I want someone to rob him.
Of course. Do you feel ill?
Just a headache.
Well, what you need is a weekend in Las Vegas, the playground of the world.
That would give you a bigger headache, at least on the Monday. She didn't put the money in the bank, did she? No, she didn't. I love the glances towards the money. Now that
Marion, what in the world?
is how you do a show don't tell. Oh, I've seen this scene before. I studied this scene in film class, I think. Because she has the money, and then the bosses walk right by. Oh my gosh. He saw her leaving.
Hold it there.
She tried to run away from the cop.
I didn't intend to sleep all night. I just pulled over. Have I broken any laws?
No, ma'am.
Then I'm free to go.
Is anything wrong?
You're acting so suspicious, lady.
I've told you there's nothing wrong, except that I'm in a hurry and you're taking up my time.
Now, just a moment. Turn your motor off, please.
You're acting like there's a body in your trunk. Does anyone else, when they drive, get suspicious when a car has followed you for a little bit too long, and then you just get, you just like try and turn somewhere else to make sure that they're not actually following you? Is she getting a new car? What? I mean, I guess she did steal quite a lot of money. Yeah, now he's like, she's changing her car at a car dealership.
I'm in a hurry and I just want to make a change.
One thing people never ought to be when they're buying used cars, and that's in a hurry. But like I said, it's too nice a day to argue. I'll shoot your car in the
It's
garage.
too nice a day to argue. Oh my gosh. Dude, you don't know the half of it. She's in so much trouble right now. She is in deep, deep water.
You are in a hurry, aren't you? Somebody chasing you?
Of course not. Please.
Well, it's the first time the customer ever high-pressured the salesman. Yeah, I'm assuming 40K is a lot because you can buy a car for like 1,500.
Just put it in here, please.
Wasn't the purpose of the car so that he wouldn't have the same license plate, but now the cop now knows this new license plate. So what's the point, right? And you look more suspicious because you got a new car.
Unable to answer the phone.
Her sister's going to do that. She's as worried as we are.
Marion, man. They're gonna all find out and the cops are gonna be after you. Oh, is it the motel? Is it the motel? The Bates Motel? Oh, hotel, sorry? Yes, sir it is. Oh, it's the motel, yeah. The Bates Motel, I was right. Yes, baby. There's the house. The beautiful house. You have an umbrella. Open the umbrella. Are you trying to get wet?
Oh, just the tongue will do.
Los Angeles.
He's like, that's far away. He very methodically chose that.
Mattress is soft, and there's hangers in the closet, and stationery with Bates Motel printed on it in case you want to make your friends back home feel envious.
There's also pictures of birds. I like those pictures. Very nice.
Over there.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Is that the bathroom? The shower bathroom?
And I'll be back as soon as it's ready.
Okay.
With my trusty umbrella.
He seems like such a nice man. Oh my god. Hidden in plain sight.
Stop raining.
Eating in an office is just too officious. I have the parlor back here.
All right.
He's just dragging her further and further into the motel.
You eat like a bird.
He does have an obsession with birds. I can see that.
The one she allows I might be capable of doing.
Do you go out with friends?
No. No, he doesn't.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
Yeah.
Sometimes we deliberately step into those traps.
I was born in mine. I don't mind it anymore.
Oh, but you should. You should mind it.
That's a good line. I was born in mine and I don't mind it anymore. That's a good line, and that is a lot of characterization in that one line.
If you love someone, you don't do that to them even if you hate them. You understand? I don't hate her. I hate what she's become.
Interesting. Very interesting.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whoever this guy is playing Norman Bates is a mad genius actor. The way he switched from super kind to so menacing in such a quick instant was phenomenal. Of course he's doing this. Of course he's... Oh my god, is there actually like a... Oh my god, that's why he chose number 1. That's why he was so meticulously looking at all the keys to try and find the one that he wanted. This guy. Is he gonna do something to make her stay? What a shot. Look at the framing on this beauty. Oh no. Is this the scene? Oh no. Oh my god, I think it is. I am stressed. Pretty sure at the time, this amount of nudity in a film as well was also unheard of. Ah, there it is. There's the figure. Ah, here we go. And the super famous music cue. Oh, it's just as beautiful as whenever you watch it. Can you imagine watching this in 1960, screaming in your seat? Oh my gosh. Dude, she was stabbed so much. If she does not die from that, she's superhuman. Dude, she's dead. They just killed the main character. I didn't expect this to happen at the very start of the movie, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw her at the start, I was like, okay, that looks like the girl in the shower. And I'm pretty sure that she died, but then it was the main character, so I was like, oh, maybe she doesn't die. But it looks like that she's dead. It looks like she's dead. And now just this shower, the sound of the shower. And her eyes. Her eyes know the truth. Her eyes know who killed her. Her soul leaves her body through her eyes as are the window to the soul. I don't know. This is really cool. This is not great for the Bates Motel reputation, let me just tell you, Norm. Oh my god. That's kind of smart, I'm gonna be honest. Norman is a little bit smart. Or at least he's done this type of thing before. That was a very symbolic shot. That was a very symbolic shot. There's blood on his hands. Look how sinister the music is too. I guess listen, not look, but listen to how sinister the music is. So good. He's done a very good job of covering it up. This is insanity. You know, I've never seen a movie do this before, so props to this movie for having guts, but to have a character that is your main character, at least everyone thinks it's their main character, to have them lead the whole movie basically by themselves until they get to the Bates Hotel, and then have her or them just die immediately once they get somewhere, and then have another character become the main character. I don't think I know a film that has done this. That's insane. Norman Bates should be featured on the show How to Get Away with Murder. Why did it stop? Was it teasing him? Was the car teasing him?
Yes, miss?
I'm Marion's sister.
Sure, Lila.
Is Marion here?
Of course not.
Thank you.
Something wrong?
Sam, something is very wrong. She is dead in a bog.
And no one has seen her since.
Someone has seen her. Someone always sees a girl with $40,000.
Sam, they don't want to prosecute. They just want the money back. Sam, if she's here...
She isn't.
They're not getting the money back. It's been destroyed. Sorry. Oh, this is pretty close to the town though, right? The Bates Motel was pretty close to the town, I think.
I'm always forgetting to turn the sign on, but we do have a vacancy. 12, in fact. 12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
Said the same thing to Marion.
Last 2 days, I've been to so many motels, my eyes are bleary with neon, but you know, this is the first place that looks like it's hiding.
Dude, did he scrap the logbook? Because she logged in under her name, didn't he? Or didn't she?
Sure. Yeah. Well, she may have used an alias. Marion Crane's a real name, but she could have registered under a different one.
Well, I'll tell you,
Yes, she did.
Even much bother with...
So Crane is her real name, so she used her real name when she was speaking, but she signed it with an alias. Interesting.
We had a couple last week said if the thing hadn't been on, they would have thought this was an old deserted...
Well, you see, that's exactly my point. You said that nobody had been here for a couple of weeks.
Ah, his story changed. I noticed it too. But the private investigator just said it before I could.
Look, I wasn't lying to you, Mr.
Oh, I know that. I know you wouldn't lie.
You know, it's tough keeping track of the time around.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was raining, and,
He's not great at lying.
the next morning, Sunday.
All right.
The stutter's starting to come on and stuff.
Did anyone meet her here?
No.
He's getting so nervous.
No.
The way his attitude changed from so confident to he's almost backing off now.
Oh, no thanks.
Why are you acting so suspicious? Why wouldn't you just go into that cabin? The mom, acting even more suspicious at the window.
Well, this is not a slur on your manhood. I'm
Let's
sorry.
put it this way. She might have fooled me, but she didn't fool my mother.
Well, then your mother met her. Could I talk to your mother?
Oh my
As I told
god.
you, she's confined.
Oh my god. This man just keeps letting things slip.
Well, I did question him, believe me, but I think I got all there was to get. I'll just have to pick up the pieces from here.
You're such a liar. You know there's more. You know there is more. The thing that really works for black and white for me, especially in this movie, which is a horror movie, is that even in the day, it kind of looks like night because it's black and white. So it kind of makes every scene creepy in a way. Okay, but if you find evidence here, it's not going to be valid in court because you didn't get a warrant. I guess this is a commons area, so you're allowed to be in here. But I thought he was going into the room. I feel like I've seen this scene before. I don't know, there's just some deja vu I'm having right now. But I can't quite picture what's going to happen. That's not creepy at all. That scared me so much. The music cue scared me. Get stabbed. Ooh.
Sometimes Saturday night is a lonely...
Ah, that's a jump scare. That is an old movie jump scare right there. Look at the lighting right there. The shadow over his face. The super shadowed eyes. Oh, really great.
He traced her there and called us to say he was going to question Mrs. Bates.
Norman took a wife?
No, I don't think so. An old woman. His mother. Well, anyway, that was early this evening.
What do they know? What do they know?
Left Phoenix under her own steam?
Yes.
She's not missing so much as she's run away.
That's right.
From what?
From life. She's running away from life because she's dead.
He wasn't out when you were there. He just wasn't answering the door in the dead of night like some people do. This fellow lives like a hermit. You must remember that bad business out there about 10 years ago.
Please.
What bad business? Explain yourself, Sheriff.
Well, this one wouldn't be a customer anyway. The private detective. Name of...
Arbogast.
Arbogast.
Arbogast. I love it.
He was going to question Norman Bates's mother, right?
Yes.
Norman Bates's mother has been dead and buried in Green Lawn Cemetery.
There it is. There it is.
Then took a helping of the same stuff herself. Strychnine. Ugly way to die.
Norman found them dead together. In bed.
I don't know if the mom did it.
Who's that woman buried out in Green Lawn Cemetery?
Yeah. Who? Who? Oh my gosh. This is actually a very well made movie. And I wish I didn't know the twist. Oh man. But it's still so fun knowing the twist. Watching the characters slowly piece together the puzzle.
She used a fake name. Saw the register myself. Saw the whole place, as a matter of fact. That boy's alone there.
No mother.
You must have seen an illusion, Sam. I know you're not seeing it.
You didn't check the whole place. You didn't check the fruit cellar.
Maybe I am the seeing illusions type.
No, you're not.
Well, you want me to drop you at the hotel, or...?
Sam, I still won't feel satisfied until I go out there.
Go with her, Sam. Yes. I got chills for some reason.
Well, it's 90% business. He wants practically notarized receipts. I better sign in and get a receipt.
But if he signs it as Sam, then Norman will know that he's connected.
That receipt.
I'll go on ahead.
This is very stressful, and I do not like it.
But if you had a useless business like this motel, what would you need to get out, to get a new business somewhere else? $40,000?
Homer doesn't have the $40,000. It's in a swamp. I don't like this. I don't like this one little bit. Want to know what I do like though? I love how Hitchcock lets the camera just be with the characters and it lets you just experience the characters. You know, like a lot of movies maybe would have cut from characters walking from their door to this door, but Hitchcock just let them walk and let them walk and let them walk, and I don't know why, but it was really good.
That proves Marion was here. To be too wild to go
Bates
in.
never denied she was here.
Well, doesn't that prove that he found out about the money?
We simply ask him where he's hidden it.
No, it doesn't.
That old woman.
I love how they think that he took the money, but he did not.
Can you find your way back to town?
Yes, of course.
If you do get anything, don't stop to tell me.
I hate doors. I hate doors and what can be on the other side of doors and how suspenseful a door can be. Ah!
Yes, as a matter of fact. Wife's taking a nap, and...
They're so close. It's like they're gonna kiss. Norman Bates, man, you gotta learn to lock your door. Check the fruit cellar. I wonder if that's the bed that she died on. Probably is. That is. The mirror scared me. The mirror scared me so much. I was gonna say that as a creepy jewelry box or something. Yeah, look at the indents on the bed. Oh, little bunny. Is this his bedroom? Is this Norman's bedroom? Oh my god. He's still a child.
You look frightened.
What was in the book?
I don't know what you've been saying.
What if it was just how to get away with murder?
Where is she?
Oh! Get smacked. Go downstairs. You better run. You better run. You better run. You better hide. You're wearing heels. That's not great for running. Yes, but she goes down. Close the door behind you. Why would you not do that? Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh my gosh, yes. That was probably the twist back in the day. Dude, that reveal is so good. Dude, I feel like that twist has the same presence as like I See Dead People twist, Sixth Sense twist, or like I Am Your Father.
That is from the mother half of Norman's mind. You have to go back.
He has a
10
split
years,
personality. Cool.
to the time when Norman murdered his mother and her lover. Now, he was already dangerous.
Told you he did it. I told you he did it.
So, he had to erase the crime. At least in his own mind.
He becomes the mother.
But he was often only mother. And because he was so pathologically jealous of her, he assumed that she was as jealous of him.
Do you remember when I said at the start of the movie where he switches very quickly between being nice and then being super strict?
His mother had committed.
Why was he dressed like that?
He's a transvestite.
Not exactly.
Yeah, that guy just came to assumptions very quickly.
Well, they know I can't even move a finger, and I won't. I'll just sit here and be quiet, just in case they do suspect me.
I love this inner monologue.
They'll see and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Oh, look at that smile. Oh my god, that was creepy. It felt like a face overlay. What the heck, Netflix? Oh wait, what the heck? There's 3 seconds left. Netflix just booted me off to some anime for a second, and I was like, what the heck, credits? But the credits are at the start of the movie. I forgot about that with Rear Window 2, and it just ended. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I mean, it just ended. And that was my reaction to Psycho, the 1960 horror thriller. I'd say maybe a little bit of a mystery, even though it's not really a mystery film. Alfred Hitchcock film starring, one sec, let me just get this cast, Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, I think it's Leigh, Vera, Miles, John Gavin, and Martin Balls. What a fun movie. What a good movie. What a well-made film. What a scary, suspenseful film. Imagine being in the audience in 1960, going to a movie theater. You've never really experienced a movie kind of like this before. I think this was kind of a first from its time, and it kind of holds up really well still. I'll be honest, it kind of holds up really well still. Anyways, let's get to the reviews really quickly, then I'll talk about the music, then I'll talk about the rest of the film. Getting into the reviews, IMDb has an 8.5, Rotten Tomatoes has a 96%, so universally loved, universally agreed that this movie is amazing, and I would just agree with that just as much. This movie has so much to offer. There's, I think, on rewatchability as well, this movie is great, because I can say from someone who's never watched the movie before but knew what the twist was and has seen a couple of scenes from the movie, that watching this movie, because I knew the twist, it almost was like a rewatch in a way, because I knew the twist. So watching this movie and seeing all these breadcrumbs and seeing all these things that Norman Bates does, but then also having other things added on because I had never actually seen the movie before, I feel like rewatching this movie would really work. I think there's a lot of things that happen within the film that you can, on rewatch, on second or third watch, go, oh my gosh, this is because of this is because of this is a little breadcrumb to Norman being bad and being the mother and stuff. Not even bad, just Norman having his dual personality and Norman killing these people because of this and this and this, you know? I think that is very prominent throughout the film. I think there's also just some amazing shots, and the script is also just amazing, and the score is amazing, and that is what I'm going to talk about now. The score of the film was incredible. It was so bone-chilling, especially, of course, the famous shower scene. The music for that, that is one of the reasons why it is famous. The bang, 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 bang. I don't know, just the way that the strings were used in this film, just like very quick, like boom, 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 you know, and that happened a lot. It just kept you on edge. It kept like the hairs on my arms sticking up and with chills and like suspense. The music really added to the suspense, and something that I really liked is that this movie, unlike the two other ones, did have a musical score accompanying the movie, but the musical score never was overwhelming. The musical score was only there for important moments in the film, because there were important moments of the film where there was no score, but for a lot of the important scares, at least, or big scary moments or suspenseful moments, there was music. But I loved that the movie did not mind having no music. There were a lot of times in this movie where there was just absolute silence, or there was just diegetic sound on screen, like when she dies, Marianne, I think, or Marion, I guess her name's Marion. Sorry if I was calling her Marianne in the movie. I thought that was her name, but Marion, when she dies and she's leaning over the bathtub, and her body's leaning over the bathtub, and all you can hear is the shower, the sound of the shower, and that just made the scene so much more like intense, and also emotional. And I don't really know why, I don't really understand why, but just the use of the shower alone as the sole sound, as like her life is leaving her, as everything is leaving her, and it's just like, I don't know, it just was really, really well done. And then there are a lot of other times too, like the rain stopping and stuff like that, which may signify, like, I don't know if the rain stopping would signify really anything, but maybe it did, and I just need to figure it out. But there's a lot of times where the sound and the sound cues and the music cues and the no music cues really added to the depth of the story, and I really, really enjoyed that. Getting into the story itself, I thought it was a very interesting, and I think it's also a very good delve into mental illness, especially for 1960. And I know there is a trope in movies where someone who is mentally ill is the killer, and it is the same with this movie, but I thought that they did a really good job with this movie, and I thought that they did a good job distinguishing between the two personalities, and distinguishing that while he was the mother, he committed the crimes, but while he was Norman Bates, he was this innocent person. So technically Norman Bates is this innocent guy who was just missing his mom a lot. And I thought that they did a good portrayal of this mental illness. I didn't think it was like too on the nose. I didn't think it was portrayed in such a way that would make this mental illness feel like a horrible thing, even though it probably is a very tough thing to have if you have multiple personalities. So yeah, I just thought they did a good job portraying a mental illness, multiple personality disorder, especially in a movie that was made so long ago in 1960. So yeah, I was very impressed by that. But I really liked how they sprinkled in things in the script. I guess I'm talking about the script now. I love how they sprinkled in things in the script at the start of the movie, middle of the movie, and then when the psychiatrist was explaining everything, which at first I was kind of I didn't like too much because it was just exposition at the end, basically. And I do still have sort of a problem with it because Alfred Hitchcock is so good at showing and not telling. But the psychiatrist basically just explained everything at the end of the movie, which I didn't mind because it gave me a lot of insight as, oh, that's why this happened, that's why this happened. But I think that was my least favorite part of the movie, just because it felt so different to the rest of the movie, where even when it's zooming in and he's just talking and monologuing inside his head and stuff like that, I really enjoyed that. It was just the part where the psychiatrist was talking, and I know the audience needs to understand what's happening. I know that a lot of people aren't even aware that multiple personality disorder is even a thing, probably in 1960, so he is a necessary character to have just so that everything fits into place. But I thought maybe if allowed more time, or if this movie was made more recently, they could have changed that up a little bit. But anyways, I loved at the start of the movie when he was talking to Marion. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. I feel like it's Mary. It's not Marianne though. It's spelled Marion. So Marion. When she was talking to Norman, and they were talking in his study, she was eating her food, and I mentioned that Norman just went from really nice to really intense, and then he just shifted back to nice. And then when the psychiatrist at the end was saying that he could just shift in the middle of a conversation and just keep holding the conversation, it clicked to me that that is exactly what happened at the start of this movie. And I found that so cool, that little Easter egg, that little breadcrumb that maybe if you don't get on your first watch, you watch it again and you go, oh my gosh, that was a change. He switched personalities there for a second. And I really enjoyed that. There were definitely times throughout the script, throughout the movie at least, where it was alluded to that Norman Bates physically was the one killing these people. But there are also moments now looking back on it where Norman Bates is supposedly unaware of himself killing people. Like the mom is doing it, but when it's Norman Bates's personality, he is unaware that he is killing these people. He is just trying to cover for his mom as a loving son. I can definitely see that. The way that he's acting shocked, I thought that he was just pretending to act shocked, but he actually is shocked. And there were instances like that throughout the film that I just really enjoyed, and I will enjoy watching that on a second watch, and just seeing the distinction between these two personalities and the way that the film kind of portrays them and gives the audience little tidbits of information, showing, not telling, of course, throughout the film. Also, this movie was very gutsy because I thought Marion was the main character. They started with her. We knew about her. At least we had a backstory to her. Maybe not a backstory, but we had she had a personality. She had a life. We knew what was happening sort of in her life, at least romantically. She took the money and stuff. I thought she was going to be with us the entire movie. I knew that she looked like the girl in the shower scene, but I assumed the shower scene was going to be near the end of the movie because Marion was the main character. And no, she dies like half an hour into the film, which leaves an hour and a bit left with just random characters. So I thought it was really interesting, and I was thinking about it, and it kind of reminds me of Alien, because in Alien, there are a lot of main characters, and it is only until the spoilers for Alien, by the way, it is only until the very end of the movie when everyone is dead besides Ripley that you realize that Ripley has been the main character the whole time. The whole movie, there's this ensemble cast, and you're like, no one's really the main character. Everyone kind of has an equal focus, give or take some characters, but it's only until everyone else is dead that you realize, oh, Ripley was the main character. And then upon rewatch, you can be like, oh, I can see how Ripley is the main character in this ensemble cast as well when everyone is still alive. It felt the same here. Marion feels like the main character. She goes and does all these things. You get to know her, then she dies, and you're like, what the heck? And it turns out that Norman Bates is the main character. At least in my mind, Norman Bates is the main character of this movie. It kind of does this 180 on you a little bit, and I really enjoyed that twist. And speaking of the twist in this movie, I think this twist, it was a very monumental twist in film. I could be wrong, but I think that this twist, for me at least, is up there with the twist from Star Wars that Darth Vader is Luke's father, and the twist from The Sixth Sense, as very culturally relevant, not in terms of like a society we live in today, but like just how it has lived on in the minds of people, in the minds of cinema geeks, in the minds of everyone. Like, I knew this twist without even knowing the movie, and this movie was made in 1960, so in some fashion this twist has survived decades and decades to get to the point where I knew the twist before watching the movie. So I think that this twist has so much staying power, and I think that it influenced a lot of twists later down the line because it was done so effectively and it was done so well that even though I knew the twist, when the reveal happens, the mom gets turned around, she's dead, Norman Bates comes storming out in dressed as the mom, and I still got chills. It was so good. It was just like the music cue, the acting, the reveal, the editing of the scene. It was just really, really well done, and props to the twist because it makes so much sense when you rewatch the movie or when you're watching the movie and you know about the twist, and it works just as well. Because there's sometimes when you're watching a movie and the twist happens and you're like, okay, but that was a great twist, but it's not going to work the second time around. I think this movie, because of the staying power of the twist, I think that this movie has so much rewatchability because of that. Last thing I'd like to get into before we talk about the cast is the directing. Alfred Hitchcock, again, master of directing. There's not really much else I can say. He's just an actual god at directing. The way that he lets, and the thing that I've noticed with Hitchcock films is he lets characters breathe and he lets characters just do ordinary things, but he makes them suspenseful a lot of the times, or he just lets you be with characters to get to know the characters. For example, the thing that I mentioned in the movie as well was Sam and the lady Leila or something like that. They left the cabin, right, number 10, and then they walked all the way to cabin 1 and then opened the door and went into cabin 1. And a lot of movies they'd say, okay, we're going to go to cabin 1, and then they'd cut to them going into cabin 1, but Hitchcock let this shot go on for like 20 seconds as the characters just walk from cabin to cabin, and you could have cut that from the film, nothing would have changed, but it really added the suspense because you didn't know where Norman Bates was. You didn't know, I don't know, it just really was effective, and it lets you just be with the characters, and it either lets you breathe and go, okay, there's a little bit of space here, I can breathe while the characters are walking, or it's like, oh my gosh, where is Norman Bates? The characters are walking, so I think that he's a master director. There are some beautiful frame within frame shots in this. There's some beautiful shots in general in this. The black and white really added to this movie, and I think this movie actually works better in black and white than it does in color, at least in my opinion. I know there's a color version of it, not like this version of the film, but I know there's a new version of the film, and that is in color. But I think that the color does a disservice to the film. I think that this film works in black and white because of how creepy you can make daylight, because the daylight is black and white and the night is black and white. Yes, the blacks are darker in the night and there's not as much white and gray in the night, but because it is black and white, the daylight still can seem creepy because there's no color there, and color is kind of what makes you feel safe in a horror movie, in a scary movie. When someone turns on the light, you feel safe. At least there is some animal instinct in you where the darkness is scary, the light, the color, I guess, is not scary. And so because this movie is black and white and it is always gray, white, and black, it really amps up the scariness in the day. Getting into the cast now, I'm not going to talk too much about the cast because honestly a lot of the characters did not have a lot of screen time besides, I don't know, Janet and Anthony. So I think I may only talk about them, but Vera, I guess, and John as Sam and Lila were really great in this film. I thought that they held their own, and I really liked them together. Their chemistry together was really good, and them solving the mystery together was really good. I just really enjoyed them in this movie. But Janet Leigh as Marion Crane, the person who I thought was the main character, who turned out to be Shower Lady, and she died instantly, basically, once she got to the Bates Motel. She was really great in this film. I loved the show don't tell scene where she was in her room and the money was on the bed and she was debating about whether she should take the money to the bank or whether she should do this or do that, and then it kept doing like close-ups of the money, and then I'm not sure, but I think that it kept getting closer to the money and closer to the money, to the point where once it did this really big close-up, she had decided that she was going to steal the money and leave. I think she was packing her bags, but she was still unsure. She was still debating it because at heart she is a good person. But I think the camera shots, the way she was looking over her shoulder, and there was no dialogue, and I don't think there was any sound. Maybe there was sound in this scene as well, but it was very effective in storytelling. It was really, really good. Anyways, that isn't even about Janet. She was great in this movie. I don't know, I just really enjoyed her character, and I was very shocked that she died so early, but I thought that Janet did a great job. And lastly, I guess I only really talked about one person, but Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. What an actor. The way that he could shift between these two personalities without actually making the audience understand that he was shifting between these two personalities until the end of the movie, but then upon knowing this twist, you can see that they are two distinctive personalities, was mind-blowing. Just the acting, and then the final shot as well, where he's just sitting there and the camera is just slowly zooming in, and then the smile creeps on his face. It was bone-chilling, but it was also amazing. This guy was an amazing actor. I had never heard of him before, and he is amazing, amazing, amazing. And that is my review and reaction to Psycho, the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. Yeah, I think we're about halfway through my Halloween movies now, and they are all going very, very good, and I haven't been insanely scared by any of them yet, which I am very surprised about, but I might have just jinxed myself a little bit for the next ones. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.